What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We got it rocking and rolling here. How's everybody doing? I hope that you're having a wonderful, beautiful, and blessed Thursday, as we say. Hope you guys are enjoying it and enjoying yourselves. What's up, Laura? Laura said, getting ready to drive, so just a quick hi. Talk another time. We'll talk to you later on, Laura. It's always awesome hearing from you. And then over here, Marie Odom sent the... oh, yeah, she's probably laughing at the name of the episode today because it's going to be a fun one. We got a fun one today, guys, so we'll see how this goes. And then Lori, I'm experimenting around today, so we'll see if we don't have as many dropped bits so far for this one, because I have a different way that we're going about it. So today, hopefully, this is an experiment, and hopefully we're not dropping frames and we're not dropping off of the show so much. So technically, I'll be able to save us some room, and then we'll be able to be good. But right now, it seems that everything is working out exactly the way that I want it. So can't be too mad about that. We got to be happy. We got to be happy, guys. We must be happy. What's up, all you guys over there on the Instagram, on the IG? Just starting the show. We're getting ready to rock and roll on the show. And this is going to be a fun one. But before we get started, if you guys can go on and like the page, like the stream, subscribe, share, do all of that fun stuff, just because we're just trying to push it out to as many people as we can. You guys know how that deal goes. But anyway, great day, great day. I woke up a little bit later than I was planning on, but I can't really be too pissed off about that because I had a really, really productive day yesterday. So the way that I try to keep myself as productive as possible, but sometimes you got to sleep. You got to sleep. Jimmy said, you don't seem drunk enough. Yeah, probably not drunk enough. I mean, it's too early too, you know? I should have gotten drunk before doing the stream, obviously, because that's the most entertaining streams. As they are. Take a shot now. No way, homie. Come on, man. I gotta work after this. Come on, man. Come on, man. If you were here, I would. But since no Jimbo, no shot for the Jordanester. Jordanester can't be doing that, guys. Jordanester can't be doing that. Not in the middle of the day. We have to. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping that we're not falling off here. It looks like we're good. Hopefully, I mean, I'll ask you guys over there on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. How are we looking? Are we looking okay? It seems like we're doing good. We don't have too many bullshitty cutting out. So hopefully it'll stay like that. But now this is going to be a subject pretty similar to the subject that we covered a couple of weeks back. Maybe it was last week. I don't remember exactly. But we were talking about, it was the episode, Your Wife is Such a Doll. And it was about people being lonely and wanting to buy sex dolls. And the sex dolls are, giving them some type of fulfillment because they don't want to be so lonely. Or, whatever the case may be. Whatever your reasoning for buying a sex doll is. It seems that, to me, like the most likely reason why you would be buying a sex doll or any other doll is because you don't have access to sex and you want to have that type of a feeling because, we're humans and we like, everybody likes sex. Unless you don't, then you're asexual. But those are rare. Those are rarities. But, people have these, cravings, they have these instinctual drives, they have these, like your biology is trying to get you to procreate so that at least your DNA can survive, because I'm thinking it has to go all the way down to a DNA level, because surely people think about it, but they don't think about it like that. They don't think about like, oh, well, maybe they did, though. Maybe, like, polygamists were like, well, the most likely scenario for me to be able to spread my genes on to the future is to have as many wives as possible and to have as many kids as possible. And that's a weird one, because you're just trying to, I guess, replicate yourself as many times as you can, but you're replicating yourself with the women, too, so you have to take that into consideration. So it's not necessarily like you are preserving yourself. it's very weird that people get crazy like that. Like a polygamist who has like 5 wives and they have 2, maybe 3 kids each. That's crazy to even think about right there. But now like society's getting to the point to where that's normal again. That used to be normal, and now like you see all these different types of pushes that different groups are pushing because they want the social rules or the social expectations that people have to be a little more open to people who have different types of relationships and those types of things. So and the different types of relationship can be polygamist. It can be what's that thing called? Polyamory. It can be there's so many. Asexual. There's a bunch of different sexualities that are out there that people have and people get off on. And then you have different fetishes where people fetishize either like a body part or an object, like certain objects make them, get them a randy, to quote the one and only Austin Powers. But with all that being said, we all have these natural urges that we have, and you get to the point to where you have to escalate yourself a little bit more. If you keep pushing and you keep pushing and you keep pushing yourself to a certain point, you're not going to be able to control yourself and control your temptations, and you're going to lose control of that, and you're going to go into the deep end. That's a very slippery slope, especially when it comes to like sexual stuff like that. And that's what we're about to get into, because this is actually a very, very funny one. So people, we have our urges and stuff like that. So this man calling libraries and masturbating to a Supreme Court opinion. And you thought you were excited about the law. I mean, I'm not that excited. I don't think I'm that excited about any type of law, really. Not a lawyer, not into the law type of stuff like that. But you know how it is. Thank you, Rick Morris, for liking the page, and Lori. And we don't have the things on now because I'm doing an experiment. But if this runs way more smoother than the other one, then I'm gonna just do this way. So we'll have I just gotta experiment around and see how it goes. But anyway, a man calling libraries and masturbating to a Supreme Court opinion. What the hell is this? Like, people like the weirdest stuff. And that's what I was saying. Like, people have their fetishes, and, normally the fetishes go towards a specific body part or some type of an object or something, but it's not normally listening to law. So why is this guy listening to law and then masturbating? It's a very weird fetish, if I do say so myself. You saw the headline and thought this couldn't possibly be real. Alas, it is very much a real thing that's really happening in 2021. Oh my God. In 2021. The asteroid cannot come swiftly enough. I'm not rooting for the asteroid, but I mean, if their asteroid's going to come, give us a little bit more time. We need just a tiny bit more time. That's, just a little bit more time. But do people get turned on at the libraries? Like, what is it about the libraries that'll turn you on? I'm sure that there's some romance novels that probably have some pretty edgy scenes in them, but I don't think that it's really porn, Like, I guess what's that show called, or the movie called, the Gray, 50 Shades of Grey, something like that? Was it 50 Shades of Grey? It's got to be 50, right? 50 Shades of Grey? That sounds right in my head, but maybe I'm wrong. 25 Shades of Grey. But the 25 Shades of Grey is more mentally stimulating, and it's not necessarily like literal porn because it's not visual aid, but it is stimulating you intellectually. So there is some type of stimulation that happens, and it seems that a lot of women liked that show. So you get that mental stimulation as well. But now it seems that men can get that mental stimulation from listening to somebody read a Supreme Court decision. Crazy. People are crazy, though. For weeks, an unknown man has called libraries around the country asking for a specific Supreme Court opinion to be read to him. As the librarians comply, it becomes clear that he's pleasuring himself to the words of the court. Pleasuring himself to the words of the court. How did they know that for sure? Chickens of unusual size. All right, now this one, I think this one might be talking about the guy. Okay, so here we go. Do you guys want to hear the latest drama among librarians across the country? The latest drama. Oh my God, hold on. My freaking microphone doesn't want to work with me here. The latest drama, though, that's so great. The latest drama with librarians around the country replied to your post. Do you guys want to hear the latest drama? Yeah, of course. Of course we want to hear the drama. Of course. Shy, what's up, Shy? Oh my God. Shy said, "Hello, Ron. Why so early today? Is it 6 already? Did I work too much and I didn't see the time?" No. We got an early show today. I had a late show yesterday, so I really wanted to make sure that I got in here earlier today. But it just works out better for my schedule because I have a lot of shit that I have to do later. And Thursdays, like the later in the week we go, the more busy I'll get being back, like just having like actual work, Ron, you have the same shirt again? Haha, you ripped it last day. I did rip it. But no, this is a different. I have, who knows how many of these. I have like 20. I think like 20 of these shirts. Because I don't like washing them, I just leave them in there, pile them up, and then when it's finally, 2 weeks later, when it's finally clean them up time, then we'll clean them up. But you know how that goes. Anyway. Ask and I shall deliver. So Brown Vampire said, "Do you guys want to hear the latest drama among librarians across the country?" Ask and I shall deliver. Okay, so the latest drama is apparently there is a man calling across random libraries across the country, and he's asking for information on a court case, specifically Brady versus Maryland. And we're in Maryland, and when he claims he doesn't have a computer, so he asks for the case to be read aloud to him. Here's the thing. He is asking for not legal reasons, but because, he's, and he's called multiple times. He's called multiple libraries and done this, and the FBI is supposedly involved and can't catch this pervert that's just calling libraries and getting off on libraries reading about the random court case. And apparently the dude called my work, and I wasn't there for it, but they put him on hold because they were like, is it him? So they got a male coworker to answer the phone, and he immediately hung up like, huh? What the hell is happening? People are so crazy, though, guys. People are so crazy. And this is the thing. Like, he has that weird urge that he can't resist. He obviously can't resist it. Obviously, because he's calling everywhere now. Or maybe this is like a fetish for him. Maybe it's a fetish. Maybe, it's crazy, though. It's so crazy. So finally, I talked to him. He is absolutely masturbating while you read the court case. He has hit multiple libraries across the country. He's called my library twice and another local library last week. So if you get a blocked number asking you to read Brady versus Maryland wiki article while he writes it out by hand, hang up. Log it. Tell your managers. Link to just one of the ALA Facebook posts about it for evidence if you need to email your bosses. All right, let's follow this link now. Let's see what this link says. This will be a fun one to see. So this is hilarious. This guy is like calling libraries and masturbating. That's so freaking crazy to me. It's so ridiculous that, that you get to the point, Laura, still driving. Say hi, laugh out loud. Bye, still driving. Don't want to crash. Well, we don't want you to crash, so be careful, Laura. Please be careful. Definitely be careful out there. So now we're going back. Now we're going to go to one of these other librarians' Facebook posts, and now she's wondering, now she's starting to figure out that there's this pervert guy that's calling around, and he's not necessarily asking for information. He's enjoying the information that you're giving to him or that you're putting out there for him. All right, so here goes a Facebook post on Library Think Tank. So I guess this is where librarians and librarian people party hard and make it happen. This is the original tagline for this group. We're not affiliated with whatever, but it's a Facebook group. So Jess Stevens, and you know, you got all these wonderful, wonderful Facebook groups out there with people who communicate with each other in their same industry. So that's what's beautiful about this. Now you can't even hide it. You can't even hide this stuff anymore. This is out there in the open. And now we're kind of getting like close. We're getting an idea that this guy might not be exactly what you were thinking he was. Might not be. Can we trust him? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like we can trust him. Hold on one sec. Let's see. No, I don't want to do any of that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to fix my camera a little bit. Why not? So Jess Stevens, calling the library, or writing a post into the library groups, said, does anyone remember the guy who used to call libraries asking for John Grisham titles to be read out loud to him? I was a victim of that 8+ years ago, and I think he just called again. This time, he wanted an entire Wikipedia page read to him. So I'm just forewarning everyone that anyone calling for information on Brady versus Maryland should not be taken seriously. And they should not be taken seriously, guys. You got to be careful with these people out here who want to hear your voice and they want to masturbate to you. They want to masturbate to you. People are perverts, guys. They're perverts out here. All these degenerates out there all being perverted. Yep, Marie's laughing because you got the laughing faces on. Because it is what it is at this point. There's not much that you can do about it. We just got to deal with it. We just got to deal with it. And it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. I know I say it's just one of those things all the time, but it is just one of those things. Because, I mean, come on, man. Come on. All right, let's continue. We'll continue on people being perverts. Felicity Brown, which is another person in the same group, but probably from a different part of the country. We got this call today. Said his computer crashed and wanted to write it down. An article that was read to him, it ended up with heavy breathing and lewdness. Librarian hung up. The one and only gross call I've dealt with in 13 years of working at our library was a guy wanting to know that every John Grisham book we had, it was my first shift helping at our branch library. After 6 books or so, you could tell what he was doing, and he told me to keep going, and I told him that was all we had and hung up. I remember being so freaked out that I would get in trouble for hanging up on someone, but honestly, I don't think anyone noticed, as the other librarian was busy. I'm sitting here a bit flabbergasted that apparently that was a specific thing. It was ridiculous amount of years ago. And they're still out there, guys, and they're still out there. And there's a lot of people who are talking about these. Oh, my goodness, I think I may have gotten the same phone call. I once had that with Stephen King titles. Our director sent us an email about this guy. We're in New Jersey. There was a discussion about this caller within the last few weeks through the post. Might have been deleted as I'm going to. Like, this is a pandemic. It's an epidemic. It's it's messed up. You got to take a vaccine for this stuff or it's going to get you. That vaccine is going to get you. But the government will mandate it, though, so don't worry, guys. We're going to be told what to do and how to do it because we don't have freedom. We do not have freedom. Freedom isn't free. Did you know that? Did you know that freedom isn't free? There we go. I think that I'm taking away a lot of my screen, though. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's better. Since I changed everything, it's still the visual is a little bit off for me, so I have to play around with it a little bit as we're going, but you know how that goes. So this guy, obviously, they're figuring out that he's got the heavy breathing. He's got all these specific things. And oh my God, dude, you are masturbating to John Grisham. And John Grisham books are literally just law, like lawyer shit, like corny lawyer shit. Very highfalutin, intellectual, if you will, especially if you're familiar with law. But not what normal people masturbate to. Not what normal people masturbate to. So now this guy, like, he's got his ruse going, and he's asked for these different things to be read out to him. And I'm assuming that whenever you, like, working at a library, that's got to be a thing where you can actually, you work at the library, and sometimes people call and need you to read books to them, you know? But, like, how long are you going to sit there at the library and read to somebody? Like, reading the Wikipedia article, that's one thing. But, like, reading John Grisham books, like, why are you going to read so... Like, now you're reading too much. Now it's just too much, and it's crazy. Just crazy, man. Just crazy. These people. Why are people so crazy like this? All right, we'll go back to the article now and continue on. But now the plot thickens a little bit, and we're getting a better idea of who he is and what he's about. And he's all about jacking off. That's basically what we figured out. This dude is all about law and order. Come on. There we go. Okay, so the latest drama is apparently there's a man calling across random libraries around the country. He's asking for information on a court case, specifically Brady versus Maryland. Here's the thing. He's not asking for legal reasons. I already read all this. Oh, yeah, give it to me. Give the exculpatory evidence. Spank those prosecutors. But here's the thing. It's always Brady versus Maryland. There are actual Supreme Court opinions with pornography discussed in the facts. If this guy was asking about Lochner, we could at least narrow it down to the Federalist Society. Instead, we've got a guy... a crime pro fetishist, probably a crime pro fetishist, who gets off on defendants. Getting off? I guess there is some logic there. I don't know how much logic it is, guys. I don't know. This stuff is just so crazy to me, though, because people are so ridiculous. I love humans, though. Like the human aspect of everything is what makes me happy. I love how crazy people are. People are very crazy, and I love it. That's my favorite thing about living in the world, is seeing how crazy and ridiculous humans are. But this might take the cake. I understand why they hang up, but it robs us of learning if he concludes the call yelling, "Comes now the plaintiff!" Even more bizarrely, this may not be this legal jerk-off's first rodeo. This is from the Library Think Tank group Facebook, and they see a pattern in the recent spate. And that was what I was just reading over here, where the girls and everybody else was figuring out that the John Grisham titles, there seems to be some similar aspects here. Seriously, don't harass librarians. Don't harass anyone. But included within that, don't harass librarians. If you need this kind of thrill, call a late-night SCOTUS party line like Shadow Docket Girls, where real clerks are just dying to get you standing. Just dial 1CR. Am I like promoting porn now? Is that what they're doing? Is they're trying to promote porn now to, you know? What's the hottest Supreme Court opinion? Marbury versus Madison. Jacopolis versus Ohio. Caroline products for footnote fetishists. Footnote fetishists. United States versus Munsingware, and then Michael v. Gerald. I guess those are like sexy Law and Order things that if you're into that type of stuff. But guys, don't call the library and ask them to read to you. That's the weird thing. Like, why would you call the library and get them to read to you anyway? That's just a weird thing to do in general. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But that's just part of the game, guys. What are you going to do? Let's see here. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm not going to mess with that until we get off here, because I had a couple other things to work on, but I think that'll be okay. That's going to be okay for now. At least it's got to be okay for now. For now, at least. Who needs porn when you have the library, guys? Shy! Ha ha ha! Are you watching porn in the middle of the day? Just kidding. I just kept your volume low, and I can hear porn and masturbation. Oh, no porn here. No porn here. I stopped the porn habit a long time ago. That's a very, very easy thing to lose track of and lose. You lose a lot, especially if you're a dude. Like, you got to stop that masturbation shit, guys. Y'all got to chill with that shit, and chill with the porn shit. Porn shit's not good either. Very not good. But that's obvious. That's obvious shit. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that. It's very obvious that you know that. But what are you gonna do? You know, that dopamine rush is all we want to fight for. We're always fighting for that dopamine rush. But if you have discipline and you slow yourself down a little bit, then it's not so bad. I was like, why is Ron? I was like, why Ron is watching porn on a live channel? No, we're not watching. We're just talking about how crazy people get. How crazy people get. Like, this guy had to get off. And he obviously went down the track of, like, fetishes where he can't get off unless he hears somebody talking about law, I guess. But it also has a little bit of sexuality added into it as well. So it's weird. It's very weird. I don't get it. Fun stuff, though. Fun stuff. I love it. All right. So now I figured that a fun one to do would be Jackass. So you know the new Jackass movie is coming out soon. If it's not already out, I'm sure that's probably already out. But the new Jackass is coming, and Bam Margera had a lot of drama because he's a drug addict and he has a hard time staying sober. And most of the people that work with him don't really want to work with him because when you're a drug addict, you have a lot of issues at hand that people don't have patience for. So poor Bam, but then not so poor Bam because, you know, we grew up watching Jackass, especially people from my generation. And most people are still familiar with what Jackass is. And everybody loves watching people do dumb stuff that it just makes you laugh because it's like, oh my God, can you believe they did that? Yeah, you can't believe they did that. They walked up to a restaurant and literally shit on a window and then walked away. But that's CKY, so that's a little more. CKY is a little more crazy, a little more cray than Jackass was. But Jackass is still out there. But Bam was one of like the originators of Jackass. Like he helped basically create it. Like they did a lot of CKY videos, which was previous to Jackass, and a lot of the CKY videos they used for Jackass, for the Jackass movies. So it's funny how it's all come full circle. And you know, one of the guys who basically created the movies and like the show and you know the concept of what Jackass is has literally been kicked out. Like he's been kicked out of it. And now I just wanted to go through a few of his drama that he had because to me, at first I felt bad because I was like, oh man, that sucks. Bam Margera's not going to be in it. Bam Margera is usually pretty damn good. Like, you know, he's pretty funny. He's got some good entertaining stuff. I used to like, what was that show? What was Bam's show? Bam's Unholy Union, and then like Bam, Viva La Bam, and you know all this stuff. So like we enjoyed all that stuff growing up, but we didn't necessarily look up to him like he was like I didn't look up to him like I looked up to Stone Cold or something like that, you know, because he's definitely not Stone Cold, if you get my drift. But he's got issues, and now he's a little bit older and he's gained some weight, so he kind of looks more like his dad now. But Bam Margera was kicked out of the Jackass because the Jackass director gets a restraining order against Bam Margera after the star allegedly threatened him and his family. All right, well, What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Bam? Did you really threaten him and his family? Why would you do that? Jackass director Jeff Tremaine has obtained a 3-year restraining order against him because, after those 3 years, he ain't going to feel like hurting you anymore. A 3-year restraining order against former franchise member Bam Margera after the reality TV personality allegedly sent him death threats and threatened his family. And this is after Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville made it to where Bam Margera could not be into Jackass. Couldn't be in Jackass anymore. And Bam does not handle that very well. But Tremaine told the court the death threats against him and his family began in February and have continued for months. He provided screenshots of some of the messages he allegedly received from Margera in court documents obtained by the news outlet. Margera allegedly threatened Tremaine's children and said he meant the threats from the bottom of my heart. He's probably just mad. He's probably mad and just drunk and texting shit. Tremaine first received temporary restraining order against Margera May 25th before the 3-year order was put into place. The production order also extends to Tremaine's wife and children. Jeff Tremaine and Bam Margera photo. Yeah, does it seem like that was all that necessary? Because, most of us probably know that Bam ain't going to do shit anyway. But that's probably a good excuse to keep him away from you, that's for sure. While trying to secure the temporary order, Tremaine said Margera had sent him messages calling him fat boy and threatening his life. I'm going to kill you, you motherfucker. I'm going to kill you in one motherfucking punch, allegedly he wrote. Yeah, you'll probably break your hand before you kill him with a punch, though. He also provided screenshots of messages that threatened his family. Look at your children and grab your pocketbook and write a check. If you are greedy and cheap, look at your children again. One alleged message said, if you don't sign the paper, look at your children. Sign your stupid fucking contract before you're not safe anywhere. So I guess that he wants him to sign a contract then, huh? Tremaine, who has directed all the previous Jackass movies, and Margera had worked together for years, but it appears the relationship soured after Margera was dropped from the new movie, No Shit, which is slated for October. Oh, it's coming up. The terms of his contract had required Margera to maintain his sobriety. However, he relapsed in June. So that's the thing. So Bam Margera signed a contract claiming or stating that he was going to be as sober as possible. He's trying to be as sober as possible, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So he agreed to it, and he tried. He did his best. He tried, and then he failed. So if he failed at it, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do? They're not going to let you on the movie because you're not sober, and you have a relapse, especially if you're like you have that type of personality, especially being Bam. I probably don't want to work with that guy. Probably not real fun to work with that guy. In May, Margera posted a video of Instagram saying he felt his Jackass family had betrayed him. I feel like my family has fucking done everything horrible to me and made me jump through hoops and walk on eggshells, which is impossible, and strung me along like a fucking puppet because they want him to be sober. Because they want him to be sober. Margera said in the video that he was in Florida getting a phenomenal help. Fellow Jackass star Steve-O Glover came to the defense of Knoxville and Tremaine in the comments of the post, saying that everyone just wanted Margera healthy. Bam, the two people you were saying wronged you, Knoxville and Tremaine, are the same two people who organized the intervention which saved my life. Everyone bent over backwards to get you in the movie, and all you had to do was not get loaded. You've continued to get loaded. It's that simple, Glover wrote. We all love you every bit as much as we all say we do, but nobody who really loves you can enable and encourage you to stay sick. So that's a huge point. That's a very, very huge point that Steve-O is making here, because if you really, really care about somebody who is going through these types of issues, through addiction, that we've had these conversations before. If you have somebody who's struggling through their addiction, you don't want to just keep giving them the beer. You can't keep giving them the alcohol because they're going to kill themselves. That's the point of an intervention. So if they've done all this stuff, and then they even mentioned it in the contract, which I'm sure Bam Margera is probably going to make a lot of money. Probably make a lot of money on those shows. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, if you could stay sober, you could make a killing. You could make a killing, but you're not able to stay sober. So whose fault is that? Who does the blame go to? The blame, obviously, you know whose fault it is. You know what the problem is, but that's the thing. Good night, Shy. It was good seeing you. I'm glad that you were here. But who's doing the right thing? Now, I'm about to do a couple of videos here, and the videos are from Bam, his Instagram stream, and he talks about a lot of this drama that's going on, but I just want us to realize that we're only hearing one side of the story, and if your friends are doing their best to try to get you some help, and you refuse the help, it's best for those friends to back off. Back the fuck off. Because now you're only going to enable him. You're only going to enable him. And it's hard. It's fucking hard, man. It's hard, especially when you're dealing with family members, people that you're that close with, and you have to just not talk to them anymore because the way that they are is it hurts you. It's hurting them more than anybody, but it hurts everybody around them, especially the people who care about them, because nobody wants to see people that they care about in this situation. And everybody knows that Bam has a bunch of addiction issues. Addiction issues. Obvi. Isn't that obvi? But it's just like Steve-O said, like these people are trying to help you. They're the only ones that are trying to help you. But you don't feel like they're trying to help you because, I mean, they probably took away $5 million. If they took a couple $1 million away from you, you ain't going to feel like they're good people. You know, you're not going to be happy about that. There's nothing to be happy about when it comes to that. But your health, man, your health is more important. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part. That's what, that's where, I don't know, it gets annoying because people normally, most people don't care. Most people really don't care about you like that. So if they were like most people, they would have got him drugged up and then just put him out there and had him do some jackass shit. And he probably would have hurt himself and he probably would have survived, but he was drunk as shit. He's probably messed up the whole way. But do you want him really like that? And then do you want to reward that behavior by giving him money and then putting him on a big giant movie? Because Jackass, like, it's not like people watch Jackass for the storylines or anything like that. You know why you watch Jackass. But everybody follows their lives because of social media, and now we know the storyline of Bam. And Bam, like, he's been trying to get better, but it doesn't seem like it. But what are you going to do, What are you going to do? I feel like they're doing the right thing. I feel like they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do to try to take care of their friend, to try to... Ooh, where? Oh, shit. Time to wake up. Time to wake up, guys. Time to wake up. I hope y'all are awake. I hope y'all are still awake. I'm still awake, too. All right, so we got Bam Margera kicked off of Jackass 4. So now, here he is talking about it. Here's a meltdown from his IG. This will be a fun one because he has a hard time keeping himself together. So we'll do a little bit of this video.
Who the fuck cares if I'm drunk as hell or not anymore? Jackass has put me through fucking hell on fucking wheels.
So you already hear that, who cares that whether I'm drunk or not? Your friends and your family care. I'm just trying to fix that glare. I have a little bit of glare that's bothering me. Me no likey. Me no likey. Glare's still there a little bit. It's still there. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. All right, so already started off 10 seconds into the video, and you can tell, like...
Who the fuck cares if I'm drunk as hell or not anymore?
But that's the problem. Isn't that the problem? They do care that you are drunk. They do care. That's the problem. You don't care. If you don't care, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And it's already hard. All right, guys, give me 1 sec. I got an IHTP, and then I'll BRB. You know how that goes. Real quick, IHTP. Real quick. You know, I do believe. Make sure my audio's still up. Yeah, cool. I do believe that, you know, people really stop caring about themselves. Because I really believe that Bam really does not care about himself. Laura, hi again. Laugh out loud. Still can't stay, but have to work at work. But at least I could see your handsome face for a half a second. Oh, I'm glad that you were here, Laura. It's always awesome seeing you, Laura. I'm glad that you were here. Continuing on, though. Thank you so much, Laura, for that. Continuing on now. Now, you see, like, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like, and he's probably drunk here. It's just, man, dude, people care. People care.
Jackass has put me through fucking hell on fucking wheels for a year and a half, keeping me in Pennsylvania. I couldn't leave if I left, or else I had to breathe in the sobriety link at 3 o'clock every day.
Now, it sucks that they have to check your sobriety, but if you have a history of not being sober, especially if we're filming a multi-million-dollar movie, you probably want your people to be somewhat sober.
8 o'clock. Then a random beep would go off. No matter where I was at, I had to fucking stop whatever I was doing and go to an urgent care to go piss. Then I had to...
Again, so it seems like he's explaining his side of things, and I guess that he wants to... make sure that... I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just trying to prove his point, but it's not working. It just doesn't come off well. You know, it just sucks. Laura Spangler, we just had that IHTP moment. Papa Jordane promises to shake less than 3 times and not break it. I might have broke it. For a quick IHTP break, so we don't miss him much. You can't miss too much. Try not to miss too much, guys. Try not to. But I understand. We all have lives.
Up every day with a handful of antidepressant pills that I would have to show Paramount Pictures that I took them and swallowed them every single day.
So you...
With a handful of antidepressant pills that I would have to show Paramount Pictures that I took them and swallowed them.
Okay, so we can always, you know, talk about the pharmaceutical companies and SSRIs and antidepressant and how, like, a lot of the squirrely stuff about antidepressant pills and those types of things. That's another conversation for another time. He agreed to play along, but he's not playing along. He's not playing along. That's the thing. So you start to see that, like, he wants to be in the movie, but he doesn't want to actually do what he agreed that he was going to be doing. He doesn't even see that at all. Not one bit. The caveat that they had for you is for you to be sober. And you're acting like it's bullshit. This is such the mind of an addict, because an addict, the last thing they want to do is have some introspection where they visualize themselves and understand that they're causing this. They literally are causing this. because they can't get out of that dopamine. They can't get out of that dopamine stretch because they're stuck on this little track where they're getting this dopamine hit from all over the place because you got all these drugs in you. I mean, we get dopamine hits from social media. We get dopamine hits from watching television, from music, from everything. Some a little bit crazier than others. And obviously, drugs are way worse because that dopamine is such a pull. It pulls so many people down with them. People down with them. So whenever they go down like that, we know now, dealing with people who have had addictions, that the best likelihood that we have is to not enable. You can't enable. Enabling is one of the worst things that you can do because now you're literally killing them. You're giving them the gun. You're giving them the gun. Eventually, it ain't going to last. It can't last. We don't last. We don't last anyway. So you can visualize the things like when I'm wrestling, I know I'm probably shortening my life. I want to live a long time, but I'm probably shortening it because it's a car wreck. Every time I take those bumps, it's a car wreck. It's crazy business. But anyway, man.
Single day. Steve-O has been sober as fuck since 10 years. If he had a breath like he's gonna go camping one day and not have any internet reception. He's gonna sleep through one or two. He's got like people. They set me up with such a fucking hard mission that, and then COVID happened for a year against anyone's knowledge. Like, so now I had to spend $90,000 in a rehab for 90 days.
So,
exception. He's gonna sleep through one or two. He's got like people. They set me up with such a fucking hard mission.
And let's remember, the mission was to stay sober.
And then COVID happened for a year against anyone's knowledge. Like, so now I had to spend $90,000 in a rehab for 90 days at my expense. I had to go to 30 days in Florida for a rehab at my expense. I had to pay for therapists that they recommended at their expense, but I had to pay for it. I wrote them so many ideas, and if I'm not in the movie and they use my ideas, how do you think that that'll make me feel?
Well, yeah, that would suck. That would suck. Like, given the fact that he is messed up, and you know they probably really shouldn't be using him in the movie. If they use his ideas, ooh, that kind of sucks. Happens in wrestling all the time, though.
Thing I want to do is be in a courtroom with Jeff fucking Tremaine. I love him. What the fuck, man? I'm not in Jackass 4. If anybody cares about me, don't go see their movie because I will make mine way fucking radder if you just Venmo me $1. Just $1.
He does not look good at all.
If you send $100, I'll remember your name and write it down straight away. If you send more than that, and I'll do more. But
is he asking people for money?
Me some fucking Jackass was everything to me. And now I'm so relieved that it's done.
Guys, if you drink too much, you might throw up. So be careful. If you drink too much, you might throw up. You might throw up. So, you know, be careful with the drinkies, guys. Be careful with the drinkies, and don't get your heart broken. Get your heart broken. It might be a little worse.
Let
me get some more water.
Fuck you, Knoxville. Fuck you, Spike. Fuck you, Jeff. You fuckers never cared about me, man. No, you fucking fuckers.
Isn't that like, that's such like a gaslighting moment, though? Okay, I'm going to have to read that. Give me 1 sec. Let me get my water. it in the sink, though. That's not too shabby. That's not me peeing. That's the water.
When did Jackass really start taking off and you guys started meeting up and actually doing the show legit together?
We, as a cast, were never all in one place until we were shooting the second season.
Seriously?
Everything was just a sort of a hodgepodge put together.
Would you talk to them and come up with ideas and be like, okay, Steve-O, you go shoot that, we're going to go shoot this, and like...
Once we were all together, yeah, we would break up into
when you were...
So that last part I want to read.
Who the fuck cares if I'm drunk?
He just goes into more blaming and not taking any type of responsibility, and that's a hard thing to do, is to get people to take responsibility. It's like what I was saying earlier. Like, the introspection is not the easiest thing to do, especially when you got issues like this. Let's go back. One more. Oh, geez. All right, here we go. All right. Fuck them. Their budget is $10 million. How do I compete with that? Fuck this shit, man. I don't care what people say about me. They wanted to keep me at bay. But didn't he make like more than $10 million? Didn't like Bam Margera make a crazy amount of money? I thought that he did. I'm pretty sure. I thought that he did. I thought Bam Margera was pretty damn successful. So, but you know, who knows? Who knows how managing things and all that other stuff goes about? But Jeff, you owe me some money, and you owe me a fucking logo that you stole. I feel so free to know I never needed you. I cried every night for over a year. 96% bitter being and suicidal. I was suicidal? Yes, because of Jackass never giving me an answer, keeping me in limbo, driving any person crazy. Fuck you, Knoxville, first of all. Spike Jonze can 100% go fuck himself. And Jeff Tremaine, who I just read put the what's that thing called? The thing order? The where you can't go around them order? Spike Jonze can 100% go fuck himself. And Jeff Tremaine, I give you 20% of whatever movie I make and make it come out on your premiere night. I now have a new mission, fellas. Help me beat Jackass. We can do it all together, and it will be fun. I will set up a Venmo account or something so I can do fucking fun shit again, because being suicidal for a year was not fun at all. I am so happy here in Carlsbad with Danny Way, Steve-O, Captain Cook, Beaver, my hot wife, with 6 pussy rings in her tackle box, Sublime, Stray Allen, people, the Dalton Keenan Dern twins. I don't even know. He can't even pass step 1 in an AA book, which is honestly, I mean, it's enough. Ramblings of a madman. Ramblings of a madman. Somebody who's on drugs. All right, now this is the last video here, and this is where he's talking about.
Just to give everybody
Tremaine.
a valid update about where I'm at, I am visiting a very special lady. I'm not going to give her name out, but she has helped celebrities like Brian Johnson from AC/DC, Steven Tyler,
Bunch of rock stars who have drug problems.
on and on and on. But I'm in Florida, and I realize that I have the peace and quiet, no offense, Phoenix, but when he hits this certain frequency, when he cries, I can't even think straight. It makes me go more batshit than what Johnny Knoxville and Tremaine made me go through with their stupid fucking contract. So, my family...
And remember, his contract was getting him to be sober.
Jackass has betrayed me, abandoned me,
just be sober.
Rejected me. Not all of them. I love all of them, and they love me back. But it's specifically Jeff Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville. So I feel like my family has fucking done everything horrible to me and made me jump through hoops and walk on eggshells, which is...
That's just how he feels. But we get the whole story. We all know. Everybody knows that it's not bullshit. Like, Bam can't keep his shit together. That's why nobody's really up in arms about it, because most people understand. Most people get it. Most people understand that, like, dude... Come on, bro.
Impossible. It strung me along like a fucking puppet to get the $5 million that I usually get when I make a movie with them, because Jeff Tremaine, Big Brother, and CKY has started it. So,
CKY.
Thanks to Carrie Getz, He has teamed up and said that, Bam, you have a bigger family than you can believe, because the car that Novak wrecked when you were in Germany and he stole and crashed to go get more pills, well, we all saved up for a car better than that one, but I have to thank the following people. Tim O'Connor, Ryan G., Terry Hardy, Naveed the Shaman a lot, Danny motherfucking Way big time because he's the motherfucking man, Johnny Shillarev,
Who cares?
Nick Dompierre.
Don't give a shit. What are you going to do? Man, you know, that's the thing. It sucks and it's horrible. But you just can't keep putting that out there. You can't keep supporting that. If you support somebody like that, they're going to die. And I hope that Bam Margera figures this shit out, but he might not. That just seems like the way that it all goes, especially when it comes to addiction. Sometimes people figure it out, and then sometimes it's just too hard. They can't. So hopefully Bam Margera will figure it out. Hopefully we will all figure it out. And that's the thing. Like, now we're getting to my final moment. My final thoughts on the day. And the final thoughts on the day today is control that dopamine. That dopamine, guys. The two things that mainly related to the two stories that I covered today is dopamine. It's dopamine. This guy, not a drug addict or anything like that, but he had that addiction of serotonin in his brain. Whenever he would be able to masturbate listening to librarians, literally just read him something that's not even that sexual. It's not even very sexual. It had a little bit of sexual content, but the overall thing's not very sexual. These things are based off of that dopamine. You want to feel good. You feel good. You drink a beer, you feel good. You smoke some weed, you feel good. You whatever the case may be, you get something that makes you want to do it again. And that's the thing. So we see Bam Margera has a big problem being able to present himself in the real world because he can't handle it anymore because he stays drunk. And if you've seen like both of those videos, he was fucked up. Like, what sympathy can you have for somebody who doesn't even care about themselves enough to take care of themselves? So you have to try to have a little bit of introspection, guys. The first thing that we can do is look at ourselves and say, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? And what can I do to fix myself or to fix the situation? Because I want to make things better, not worse. And a lot of times when we get stuck into our own heads, you don't even have to be on drugs. You can just be in like a bad place in your mind. How do you get out of that? You just have to have a little bit of introspection, and you have to be able to sit down and have a real conversation with yourself about yourself and what you can and need to do to make yourself better to where you are not a detriment to the people around you that you love and that you care about. That's the biggest key. That's the biggest key. Find your bliss. What's your bliss? Your bliss can't be getting fucked up every day, because every single day, guys, every fucking day, you're poisoning yourself. You're going to go down. Whatever it is, even if it's like coffee. If you can go too crazy with coffee. You can go too crazy with so many things out there. That's the big thing about it. We got to be careful. We have to take care of each other, like I always say. And you guys know that this is a constant theme through this stream. You like that? I'm a poet and didn't know it. I can rhyme all the time. What did you say? Oh, no, it's not a crime. It's just me. I'm your Valentine. I love you. Anyway, yeah, that's the final thoughts, man. The final thoughts is try not to let any of these things get too far out of hand. Whether it be drugs, like Bam Margera, whether it be sexual perversions, like the guy talking about his freaking, what's it called? What's that thing called? He was masturbating, but he was on the phone, so like it was sexting, not sexting, phone sex. Maybe it was phone rape. Was it phone rape? I think that was phone rape. That was probably phone rape because he was masturbating to people that did not want him to be masturbating to. I'm sure they didn't want him masturbating to him. They're librarians. They're working. They're just trying to work. So, yeah, probably phone rape. But just because he had this weird fetish, and for some reason, this stimuli really affected him in that way. And there's got to be something. There's got to be some Freudian explanation as to why the hell this guy gets off on law talk. Maybe his parents were lawyers or whatever the case may be. It's like Bam obviously a partier, and as he got older, most people kind of go through a partying stage, but then as they're getting older, they start realizing like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want all the wheels to fall off of this vehicle right here. This vessel has to get me through 70, 80 years of life, maybe more if you're lucky. So I have to take care of it. Most people have that realization. Sometimes they have that realization, but they can't fix themselves, or, you know, that type of thing. So there's always things that we can do to better ourselves. And I hope that Bam Margera betters himself, and he makes himself better. But just by seeing those videos, it seems like Jeff Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville made the right decision. Because if you have somebody who is addicted and they have that problem, it's very, very hard to get them out of that state. They're in a bad state of mind, and it's hard to get them out of it. In majority of the time, they don't want to get out of it. They like from something that makes you feel good, because it makes you feel bad too. But that's the other side of it. That's the other side of it. This addiction, you know, technically, if you consider it an addiction, an addiction has to affect your life. Like, it has to affect your normal day-to-day life negatively. If it negatively affects your day-to-day life, then it's a good idea to do your best and try at least to not let it be like that. Try your best not to be like that. But we're all in the struggle together, guys. We're all in the struggle together, and there's not much that we can all do about it on our own. But it is, you know, it is what it is at this point, guys. So that was my final thoughts. My final thoughts are, we can take a lesson from these two stories, because these two stories, though the first one was kind of funny, the second one kind of sad, because, you know, you got Bam Margera like crying his ass off because he can't have his job anymore. He literally lost his job that he created. That sucks. You lost the job that you created, but it's your own fault. It's your own fault. If you would have, you know, that's the thing. But we can't. It's easy to say, oh, well, if you would have. No shit. That's very easy. If you would have. Well, too late. I already did. So now what? That's the thing. We have to worry about where we are now. It's very, 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 very easy to say, oh, well, I shouldn't have made this decision previously. I should have made a different decision that would have put me on a different path. Yeah, that's very true. But that's not reality right now. We're fantasizing. We're in reality right now, and we have to figure out reality. That's the hard part. The hard part is being able to understand and relate to the world knowing that, and then staying on top of it, because you have to control that. You have to control your inner weakness. Like we all are weak at a certain point, at a certain time, for different things. But if we're practicing being strong, mentally especially, you're going to be stronger mentally. You can strengthen it like a muscle. Your mental strength can be strengthened just like a muscle. And that's what we have to do. We have to strengthen ourselves, strengthen our personality, strengthen our dopamine so that we can cut out that dopamine and not try to feel so good all the time. Just be flat for a little while. Be flat. That's why people go crazy like that. That's why that guy, the guy that we were just talking about, was going to the libraries, calling libraries, getting them to read him stuff that he needed to jack off to. He had a problem. He couldn't handle that problem. So what did he do? Instead of not calling anybody, instead of weaning himself off of it, instead of finding a way to not require those patterns, he followed the patterns. And he did that, and he made a lot of people uncomfortable. But maybe by making those people uncomfortable, it got him off too. So there's so many different weird... People are so weird. That's the thing. But at a certain point, we can see these patterns that people are doing, and we can relate them all into one thing. Instead of trying to make it separate, oh, that's sexual, that's drugs, that's this, that's that. It's all based off of dopamine. It all either makes you feel good or it doesn't make you feel good, or it makes you feel flat or whatever. That's the big part. That's the big part that we have to try to pay attention to and we have to stay on top of. But anyway, guys, we'll finish it up now. That was my final thoughts, and that'll be a regular part of the show where I'm going to talk about whenever we do cover stories like this. I'm going to relate those to some type of a final thought at the end of it, so that we can all try to continuously improve ourselves and improve each other and improve. Like that's all I'm about, man. I'm all about us being healthy and happy. Be healthy and happy, mentally and physically. And you don't have to be like Superman to be physically, and you don't have to be Elon Musk to be mentally. You know, we all have our own things, but we want to be healthy as individuals. And we all have different individual needs. We have individual wants. We have all of these different things. So it's more important for you to pursue whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever your bliss is. That's the hard part. I'm pursuing my bliss. I'm doing that right now. This is fun. I love it. This relates to wrestling. I got my wrestling quote in the background. But, you know, I like to talk about a little bit of everything, so that's what we do. But you got to find your bliss, guys. Like, you got to find what makes you happy. Even, like, fuck money, make you happy. You're going to die. You're going to die. We're going to die. I'm going to die. I know that. I'm acutely aware of it every single day. Sometimes I'm lazy and I let myself be a little fucking baby. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm on it. Most of the time I'm on it. But sometimes you wane, man. You wane, and it's just one of those things where you have to keep practicing, and you have to keep it in the front of your mind. You have to keep it on the forefront of your mind, because it's hard, man. Life is fucking hard, guys. I don't know if you realize this or not, but life is fucking hard. Doesn't matter how much money you got. Somebody's going to die, and it's going to crash your world. No matter how much money you got, no matter how much whatever you got, something's going to happen that you can't control. It's out of your realm, and how are you going to handle that? How do you handle that? I think the Stoics historically probably have the best strategy for handling stuff like that, but who knows? Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But anyway, guys, this was a fun episode. Had a fucking blast. We covered a couple of silly stories. Bam Margera, you know, he's a drug addict and he's got problems, so he's got to figure that out. Guys, don't call the libraries to jack off, watch porn, or something like that, you know? Exactly, Jordane. Thank you, Allison. Allison, what's up, Allison? You came in at the end of the show, and I'm sorry. We did start way earlier than I normally do, but that's just part of the game. Y'all know that. Sometimes we got to start it early. Sometimes we got to start it later. I think that tomorrow we might be a little bit later, but I might do it earlier too. I haven't decided what tomorrow's going to be. We don't have like a giant audience right now, so I can be a little more loose with the times. But we'll probably look at close to 7 tomorrow. So we'll see close to 7. I might do earlier. I don't know. It's hard to say yet. But anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off here. This was a fun episode. Had a fucking blast. I love you. Get yourselves in order. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your friends. And I'll see you on the upside. See y'all later.